So what is money? So it may seem like an obvious question, but it's really important. So
Money, mindset.
So what is money? So money is three things. So the first thing is money is an exchange for goods and services. So you have money, you get paid every month if you have an income from a job. You go to a shop and you buy foods, or you go and buy clothes, or you go buy whatever you want from the beauty of life. You can go and choose whatever, you can spend your money whatever you want on. So that's the first thing. So you have money, you go and exchange it for goods and services. The second thing that money is money is a store of value. So you can go and put money into a bank, or you can put money under a bed. And in general terms, that £100, say you put £100 under your bed, that will be £100 in 10 years time, assuming you don't get robbed, or the bank, or if you put money into a bank, it doesn't go bust. So generally you would get an interest from, if you put money into a bank, you'd get interest on that. That doesn't happen anymore. You get next to nothing in your interest. And this doesn't include inflation. So we talk about inflation much more in other videos. So that £100 that you have as a store of value, that spending power is going to be much less in 10 years time than it is today, because the erosion power of inflation. So the third and most exciting property of money is what is known as an emergent. And this is quite a complex subject. I'm far from an expert on it, but it's really, really important to understand this. So just bear with me 2 minutes while we go through this. So emergence. So it's something that it's the property that its parts do not own. And also it's the result of a complex system working in synergy. So you've got a pound coin, or let's take the tree example. So you've got a seed, for instance. You plant that seed, that tree will grow. Because it works in natural synergies with the soil, it works with other trees, that will grow to a big tree in 10 years time. The emergence is that person sitting, enjoying the shade or shelter from the rain. That's the emergent property of that seed. So that's that person there. So you would never have been able to guess that this person would be able to enjoy sitting under the tree just from looking at this seed. In the same way that money, you put money into a pound coin on itself is not going to do much. You could just sit and look at it. But if you put money into a system, if you invest it into the stock market, you invest it into other businesses with lots of other money, that works in a complex system. And then you lend that money to a company, for instance. That company then makes telephones. So say that makes an iPhone. Then that person can call, say, his girlfriend halfway across the world, and they get pleasure out of speaking to each other. That's the emergent property. So you could never have been able to, from that pound coin in your back pocket, you would have never been able to guess that the enjoyment that person keeping contact with his girlfriend or his family, that's the emergent property. So that's essentially that's the result of this complex system working in synergy. So you put a pound coin into a complex system like the stock market. There's hundreds and thousands of things going on in the stock market. But to boil it all down, essentially you're getting that emergence from speaking, or it could be anything. That's just an example. And the properties that its parts do not own. So as I said, this is quite complex. There's a really good book actually called Emergent that goes into way more detail than this. One of the takeaways from this book is he talks about ant colonies. So think of an ant. If you just put an ant in the middle of a field by itself, it's probably not going to survive. Similar to like if you just have a pound coin, it's not going to grow that quickly unless if you put an ant in a massive complex system like an ant colony, that works. Each one has its own kind of specialist job to do. So one would be a queen ant, one might be a worker ant, the other one might be kind of a protector ant. And these kind of complex systems working together create these kind of huge, the kind of that ant kind of system is the kind of the emergence. So yeah, just to summarise, what is money? So money is an exchange for goods and services. It's a store of value, and it's also this exciting property called the Emergence. And that explains three ways that properties of money.
Money. Mindset.
I think that sounds alright.